She began with just $5,000. No degree, no experience in fashion. And every single manufacturer, they swore her idea was doomed to fail. Yet a mere 10 years later, she stood as America's youngest self-made female billionaire. This isn't just the story of Sara Blakely. It's about a secret far deeper than the product itself. It's about the impossible decisions she made when her funds were almost completely gone. Before the billions, she faced a relentless gauntlet, selling fax machines door to door. Cold calls, rejection after rejection. Doors slammed in her face. Most would call it failure. For Sara, it was rigorous training. Then, one pivotal night, preparing for a party, a tiny, infuriating problem emerged. She desperately wanted to wear white pants, but every undergarment created visible lines. So she did something drastic. She cut the feet off her pantyhose. Instantly, everything was smoother. Her confidence soared. This fleeting moment should have vanished, but it consumed her. That relentless obsession, that's precisely where empires are forged. Nothing. But what would it cost her to pursue this impossible vision? Next came the wall of rejection. She started calling manufacturers, only to be met with dismissal. Young, no experience, no industry background. One factory owner actually laughed. Another simply hung up. But a strange phenomenon occurred. Years of door-to-door sales had forged an impenetrable shield against rejection. She just kept dialing. Finally, a single manufacturer agreed to a chance. Not because he believed in her vision, but because his daughters, they insisted women would buy this. That single call was the lifeline. But now the true test, the moment where most dreams die: money. With her last $5,000, would this be a desperate gamble or a fatal mistake? She had $5,000. Her entire life savings. Every single penny went into prototypes, packaging, legal fees. She even drafted her own patent application. No lawyers, no advisors. This is the critical business lesson so many overlook. She fiercely protected her idea before it became monumental. That one decision transformed a simple product into invaluable intellectual property. But she still had no customers, and her cash was almost gone. How would she sell a product nobody knew, with nothing left to spend? Advertising, a luxury she couldn't afford. No billboards, no primetime commercials. So she resorted to the unthinkable. She went store to store, buyer to buyer, and instead of dry pitches with slides, she did something truly audacious. She demonstrated the product in person. Yes, in the bathroom, awkward, uncomfortable, and devastatingly effective. This secured her very first retail orders. Here's the second profound business lesson. She didn't scale with marketing budgets. She scaled through raw direct sales and irrefutable proof. Revenue fueled her growth, not investors. Not crippling loans, just pure, undeniable sales. But even with sales, what unexpected force was about to unleash a tidal wave she couldn't possibly control? Then a moment arrived that she could never have orchestrated. The universe intervened. Oprah Winfrey featured her product. The phones exploded. Orders cascaded in. Inventory vanished overnight. The very retailers who had once scorned her were now begging for her attention. This is often where stories conclude. But the true masterstroke, the move that built colossal wealth, happened after the initial explosion of success. What decision, made in the shadow of overwhelming demand, would seal her fate as a billionaire? This is the hidden chapter, the part almost nobody discusses. She didn't chase venture capital. She didn't surrender half her company for a quick cash infusion. She retained ownership because her growth was organic, built on profit, not external funding. And that meant when her company Spanx became a global phenomenon, the immense wealth remained hers. This is the blueprint for enduring power. Grow slower, own more. She chose control over reckless speed, and that singular decision transformed success into a legacy of generational wealth. She didn't invent some groundbreaking technology. She wasn't born into privilege. She simply solved a small personal frustration. Then she protected her idea, sold directly, leveraged revenue for growth, and clung to ownership. Most entrepreneurs chase investors. She painstakingly built leverage first. That fundamental difference, it rewrote her destiny. Consider this chilling thought. What if she had dismissed that small problem? What if she had surrendered after the 10th crushing rejection? The billion-dollar brand Spanx would simply cease to exist. The real lesson isn't about conjuring a genius idea. It's about building with strategic intelligence when you are at your smallest. Because the decisions you make before success, they determine exactly how much of it you ultimately keep.